Well, 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 well. Aren't I glad I waited for a day or so to make a video off of this? Okay, so let's figure out what's going on in JJK today. For one, today we're going to be getting story chapter 11, so that's really useful. What that's going to mean is obviously a brand new story chapter, or the recollection bit, or the cubes that are around that, but also, perhaps more importantly, character grade 10. So if we go in here, enhance characters, pop this up. If I go to Yuta, see how he's grade 9. It'll be one of these things where another one of these will be unlocked just above him, which will be pretty great. So a bit more stats, makes things a little bit easier. Does mean, however, as you can see, we get a few more of these enhancement materials, which is going to be a little bit annoying because these are always a little bit frustrating to get because they're not in pre-existing events. Although, if we pop back out here, see that the Grand Exorcist Battle, this one, the map event, is going away really soon, and Nobara's event just finished. So this map event here, the Kamo one, is finished very, very soon. Let me change these battles. Exchange shop will last a little bit longer, but you know what it is. You will be able to exchange the gold. I think you'll be able to exchange the gold 3-star, or the gold level 3 materials for the green one above. Don't quote me on that, but that's what's been able to happen so far before. Hopefully these drop pretty frequently so we can get them quite nicely. As you can see, another 6 levels, so that'll be good stats. Hopefully they make XP juice easier to get, because the cost to level a character and characters is getting pretty wild. So if I wanted to go level enhancement, say that's what, 400k for those 2 levels. If I wanted to take, oh, Nanami go to 97? No, we can't. All right. Hang on, 1 second. Grade enhance. Unlock all these, why not? Oops. Unlock all these, why not? If I wanted to go to 97 with Nanami for this, that's 200k. Another 200k. Another 200 or so k, a little bit. So we're starting to get into very pricey enhancement costs. So hopefully, sooner rather than later, those will be made a little bit available. This you don't need to worry about. Generalized what's happened in battle thing. No one really cares, guys. And this is, however, the new event. Because previously we had like 5 events up, now there's only 1. So obviously we're going to get... This is Yellow Nanami's story event. So, if we scroll up, this is Yellow Nanami. This is the recollection bit that will be in there. And this is just a brief overview of the story event. So this is the same sort of thing we usually get. So Nanami and the recollection bit and the pre-recollection bit, there'll be a pre-recollection bit, will allow us to get extra drops when we kill this giant cicada looking thing. Trade it in, do it as a lottery, blah blah blah. You guys know how this works. The good thing about the lottery is you farm it a lot and get a bunch of enhancement materials, so that'll probably be where things come from. And these are the things with event bonuses. So Nanami, the gacha recollection bit, and the free one. One of these is free, one of these. This one is free. There you go. Search in the Rain is free. Nanami and the other one are gacha. Then we get Hanami's Imaginary Realm, which will be fun. So you'll be able to do a bit of a test against yourself in terms of beating Hanami. I imagine it'll just be a giant nuke thing, like with Ketchizu and Eso and Ketchizu. But, you know, who knows? We'll see. It's going to depend on the typings and all of that sort of thing. This doesn't show it immediately, but it's going to go the exact same way as before. Get clear stages, get residuals, go fight Hanami. Hopefully soon we'll get Mahito, because we'll be, as in Mahito added exchange shop. Because if you look in here, exchange, where are we? Event is no. Domain investigation. Phantom metals. As you can see, I'm saving mine up. Click on Mahito. Jogo's the worst. Hanami's the next best. So Mahito, Hanami, and then Jogo in terms of how good they are. Where are we? Yep, back here. And then same sort of thing. Get medals, get exchange shop stuff, get some AP, get some cubes. So more cubes, more better, obviously. And then obviously the maintenance. So let's have a quick look at Nanami. He actually seems pretty good. I was having a bit of a look at him earlier. And this is some really cool art. I do like him. So, just throwing out a black flash, which is nice. And when he hits a black flash, he increases his own black flash rate. Kind of nice. Although I will say it's not great that his own skills don't give him increased black flash rate. Though I think character rarity SSR Red Yuji does, I want to say. Gives crit rate and black flash rate, right? All allies... No, break damage. That sucks. Okay. Probably no one that does it then. Alright, so he also does increased damage when the opponent has a yellow, which is actually really, really strong for tower and all that sort of stuff, because usually you want to be bringing characters that have type advantage anyway. So that's quite nice. Alright, his kit though. First one is Cursed Energy Punch. It's a punch. Cursed Energy. Very basic. Standard 100% damage total, 50-50 with Taijutsu and Jujutsu. Let's get this over with. Deals combined burst damage and physical damage to an enemy, scaling from, what's this, 235-ish to 302. Yep. Good. And then ratio technique. Now this does quite a bit of damage to the selected enemy with type advantage, then it decreases their critical hit resistance and then increases the enemy's damage received. So it also applies a debuff, which is really nice. Now, one thing that's interesting to me is that it says deals damage to the selected enemy with type advantage. I'm not sure quite how this works yet, so I'll need to watch some other out, because I'm probably not going to be summoning for this guy, let's be real. And I wonder if it will only damage enemies with he's got type advantage to, or it deals extra damage to enemies with type advantage. Because these are some pretty good multipliers here, right? At max, it's like, what? 418%. That's pretty good. It's reasonably expensive at 35 CE, but, you know, you can make some of that up with some characters and all that sort of stuff. And then his ult is also quite good. Deals a good chunk of damage to the selected enemy, and then deals additional damage to the selected enemy with type advantage. So I guess this only does do damage to enemies that he has type advantage over, huh? Okay. Doesn't change the skills type. Yeah, so I guess it just does these debuffs. If that's pretty bad, actually. If you're not bringing him in type advantage, it's bad. So it's only exclusively for type advantage. Okay, so he deals a decent amount of damage, and then much more damage when he's got type advantage over them. And he will always black flash on the final hit of the ult, which is quite good, because when he black flashes, he increases his own black flash rate. So I guess the goal here is to race ult and then just chain black flashes, which could be cool. He has a decent combo effect. own and combo allies damage by 10% for 4 turns, which is quite nice. I think the best part about him is his auto, though. At the start of the battle, he gets 30 additional curse energy. So if you want to, you can just fire this off straight away, which is quite nice. Because this is just damage, right? There's no actual self-buff skill here. So you're just going straight into damage. Maybe the first turn you use this so that you can buff up with like Yaga and Red Nanami or whoever your supports are. And then you just start trying to chain these together. And then you ult. Whoops. Then you ult once that's all built up. But we'll need to see. Each turn, he recovers 5 curse energy. So that's an additional curse energy recovery. Good. He also gets 220 ult gauge, so you'll be ulting more regularly. And then he also increases his own Jujutsu damage by 30%, which is also quite nice. And then whenever he attacks an enemy that he's got type advantage over 1 time per turn, an extra 110. So ult gauge, which is quite nice because his ult gauge is medium sized, I would say, 1558. So if you did this on a type advantaged enemy, you would go from, you'll get the ult gauge out of the punch, plus you'll have the 220, plus the 210. And then the next turn, you'll get it out of starting to chain these together. So you're probably ulting if you've got an ult gauge rate up or ultimate gauge fill increase. Probably by like turn 4, easily enough. Maybe turn 3 if you're lucky or you've got the setup for it. Quite fun. Just, chaining ults. And then when you're not ulting, you're using either this or if you're a bit low on curse energy. He seems like he could be good, right? Especially if you're... But only if you're going against type advantage. He seems pretty bad if you're not. Gacha recollection bit is here. It is reunited after the rain. Might be called something different. But when command skill or ultimate skill is activated, increases all allies' damage dealt by 20%. Effective for yellow types. Pretty arse. Pretty bad. When a critical hit or black flash is performed, increases crit rate by 30% and crit damage by 25%. Turns. What I can tell, this doesn't have a cooldown, so you might actually just be able to keep chaining this in. So it might be one of those things where it is good just specifically on this Nanami and basically nowhere else. If you're going against something that's yellow weak, I could see like a team of Megami, this Nobara, Nanami, like a yellow support, another yellow based damage support. I'm not sure who that would be off the top of my head, but there is one, maybe. Maybe there's Junpei? I don't know, probably not. Seems kind of bad. Maybe you just bring Yaga. Because you can't... I know I said earlier you bring red Nanami, but you can't do that because they're both Nanamis, right? So maybe you bring red Yaga, Domain Megami, Nobara, and this Nanami? I don't know. There's options. But him being a Nanami is actually kind of bad because red Nanami is just so valuable for the buffs. But maybe. There's probably something there. Alright, and then Investigation in the Rain, or Search in the Rain, I think it's being called on Global. Let's find out. Where are we? Got its name written somewhere here. Yep, Search in the Rain. It increases your own crit rate by 15 or 20% when ultimate skill is activated, and at the start of the battle fills own ult gauge by 220. So with the yellow Nanami, if you really wanted to run him, it would probably get you halfway there after the first turn. But overall, I would say not worth it. It seems pretty bad. Get these passively with just a lot of skills that you want to be wanting to be using anyway. I've never found there to be a particularly large issue with critting when you want to be critting, so that's not great. And the only thing that really is super good that synergizes with crits, other than things built into characters anyway, is probably one of my favorite rec bits. This one, Like-Minded Sisters. Just because you get 200 ult gauge whenever a crit is performed. So with a character that can crit a lot, you can be charging 200 ult gauge every turn extra. But that would take the slot that the recollection bit. So, you know, much of a muchness really. Not super great, but we'll see how it goes. Either way, if you like the video, tune in for more later. I'll be doing, I won't show the story playthrough, maybe the boss, but I'll do some guides for Nanami and all that. But I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.